Hello, dear friend. The day is ending now. The sun has gone to sleep, and the stars are waking up in the sky. You have done many things today. Maybe you worked. Maybe you studied. Maybe you just lived a quiet day. And that is enough. You did what you could. Now, it is time to stop. It is time to rest. There is no need to do more. No need to think too much. Just come here. Sit or lie down. Be still for a little while. And let the world become soft. Let the noise go away. Let the lights become low. This moment is only for you. You are safe here. You are welcome here. This is a gentle space. A slow space. A space where you can listen, breathe, and feel calm again. Before you go to sleep, I will tell you a soft story. A story in slow English. Very simple English. So your mind does not work hard. It only listens. It only floats. Like a little boat on a quiet river. Let the words come to you like small waves. Let them wash over you. You do not need to remember everything. Just listen. Just feel. This story is not fast. This story is not full of loud sounds or action. It is quiet, like the stars. It is soft, like a blanket. It is warm, like candlelight. And it is gentle, like a hand on your shoulder. So now, let us begin. Let us take a deep breath together. Slowly in, and slowly out. One more breath. In, and out. Good. You are ready now. You are here. The story is waiting. Now, before we begin, let's take a moment to help your body feel quiet. Your body works hard each day. It walks. It moves. It carries you through the world. But now, it can rest. You do not need to do anything at all. You do not need to try. You only need to be here. That is enough. So, let's help your body feel soft. Close your eyes if you want to. Or just let them become heavy. Let them rest. Let your shoulders fall down. Let them stop holding everything. Feel your arms become soft. Your hands open just a little. Your back sinks into the bed or the chair. Feel your feet. Are they warm? Are they still? Now feel your breath. Do not change it. Just notice. Feel it move in, and out. In, and out. Slowly. Gently. You are not pushing it. You are not holding it. You are just breathing. That is all. And now, listen to your breath and the words together. The words will walk beside your breath. Step by step. Word by word. There is no hurry. We are not going anywhere fast. We are staying in one quiet place. A place of stories. A place of dreams. Let your heart slow down. Let your mind become like still water. No big waves. Just a small ripple here and there. Maybe you feel sleepy already. That is okay. You do not need to stay awake. The story will still be here. It will keep going. Like a soft stream. Like a quiet song. And if you fall asleep, that is perfect. That means you are safe. That means your body and mind are at peace. So now, let us begin the dream. Far away from the busy cities, far from the cars, the shops, and the screens, there is a very small village. You will not find this village on a big map. It is not famous. It is not loud. But it is real. And it is peaceful. This village sits near the sea. Not on a beach full of people. Not near tall hotels or bright lights. No, this sea is quiet. It sings with the waves. It shines in the moonlight. And it smells like salt and wildflowers. There are not many houses here. Just a few small ones, with wood walls and gardens full of herbs and flowers. Each house has a little chimney. And when the sun goes down, little lights begin to glow in the windows. Not electric lights. But candles. Soft candles. Yellow and warm. The streets are made of stones. Round, old stones. Some are cracked. Some have moss on them. But they are strong. They have been there a long, long time. No cars drive on them. Only feet walk here. And sometimes cats. Or birds. Or wind. Trees grow along the sides of the village. Tall trees. Wise trees. The kind that listen. At night, they whisper in the wind. Not loudly. Just a little sound. Like breath. Or memory. In this village, time moves slowly. People are not in a hurry. They speak quietly. They smile with their eyes. They grow their own food. They sit on benches in the evening. And they watch the stars come out. The sky here is dark and deep. The stars are very clear. You can see more than you ever knew were there. And when the moon is full, it shines down like a kind friend. Soft. Cool. Watching. Holding the night. Nighttime in this village is like a lullaby. Everything becomes quiet. Everything moves more slowly. The sun says goodbye. The last light on the trees becomes gold, then blue, then gray. The sky changes, minute by minute, until the stars open their eyes. In one house, a window opens. A woman leans out and closes her eyes. She listens to the sounds of night. There are many small sounds, if you listen closely. A bird moves in the trees. It is not afraid. It just shifts its feathers. A cat walks across the garden wall. Its steps are soft. You almost do not hear them. A dog gives a sleepy sigh from a porch. The sea, not far away, moves in and out. Not like a storm. Like breathing. In, and out. In, and out. The wind passes through the trees. It does not rush. It takes its time. It moves like an old friend, brushing the leaves, touching the roofs, playing with a loose piece of paper. Somewhere, a door closes gently. Somewhere, a candle is blown out. Somewhere, a child is put to bed, and a song is sung in a soft, old voice. In this village, night is not something to fear. It is something to love. It is soft. It is cool. It is full of dreams. The windows glow. The beds are warm. The rooms smell like wood and lavender. Even the earth seems to sleep. And under the stars, the village becomes very still. Not empty. But peaceful. Like a deep breath that does not need to end. Behind this little village, just past the last garden and the last stone wall, there is a mountain. It is not high like the great snowy mountains. It is soft. Gentle. Covered with trees and moss. The path to the top begins at the edge of the village. It is a narrow path. It goes slowly up. Not steep. Not hard. It is made of dirt and old stones. Some parts are soft with fallen leaves. Some are firm, packed by many years of quiet feet. Nobody rushes on this path. It is not for running. It is for walking. Slowly. Step by step. The air smells different here. Like pine needles. Like cool soil. Like something old and green. Birds live in the trees. Sometimes they sing. Sometimes they are silent. The wind is stronger here, but still not loud. It moves gently through the trees. The path twists and turns, but never gets lost. It knows the way. And at the top of the path, you can see the sea. You can see the village. You can see the stars. Not many people come here at night. But one girl does. She knows this path well. She walks it like a memory. In the quiet village by the sea, there is a girl named Luma. She is 16 years old. Her hair is dark and long. Her eyes are soft, like water in a deep well. She does not speak much. But when she speaks, her voice is gentle. Like a breeze through leaves. She lives in a small house with her grandmother. Their house has a blue door and a white roof. Flowers grow near the steps. Every morning, Luma waters the flowers. She talks to them, very quietly. "Good morning, little ones," she says. "Did you sleep well?" Her life is simple. She does not go to a big school. She learns from her grandmother and from books. She reads stories about stars, animals, and old places. Sometimes she draws. Sometimes she just sits and watches the sky. Luma does not run or shout. She does not want to be fast. She likes the slow things, a bird building a nest, a candle melting, the sea moving in and out. People in the village know her. They wave when they see her. She waves back. Sometimes she smiles. But her smile is quiet. Not big. Just a soft light on her face. Luma walks every day. In the morning, she walks near the sea. In the evening, she walks past the trees. And at night, when the stars come out, she often walks up the mountain path. Alone, but not lonely. She likes the night. She says the stars help her think. She says the wind speaks in a language that does not need words. People ask her what she thinks about on these walks. She only smiles and says, "I think about something. But I don't know what it is yet." Luma is not looking for noise. She is looking for something small. Something quiet. Something true. Luma's life is not full of busy things. She does not have a phone. She does not use the internet much. She helps her grandmother cook. She reads old books. She draws in her notebook. And she listens. She listens to everything. To the rain. To the fire. To her grandmother's soft voice. In the mornings, she makes tea. She carries the cups with careful hands. She sits with her grandmother and watches the steam rise. They do not speak much during tea. They do not need to. Their hearts speak in quiet ways. Sometimes, Luma writes little poems. Not for anyone. Just for herself. She writes about the sky. About water. About dreams. She writes slowly, and she does not worry if the words are perfect. The words will come, she says. Like birds, when the sky is quiet enough. Her room is small. One bed. One table. A shelf for books. A window with a view of the sea. At night, she lights a candle. She reads by the soft light. The room smells like wax, books, and flowers from the garden. Sometimes, her cat climbs into bed with her. The cat's name is Willow. It purrs and sleeps near her feet. Life is soft in this house. Not empty. Not boring. Just slow. Safe. Full of little things. A warm bowl of soup. A letter from a friend. A new flower in the garden. A story from long ago. Luma likes this kind of life. She does not need more. But still, sometimes, at night, when she is alone, a small feeling comes into her heart. A quiet feeling. A question. It stays there, like a star behind a cloud. She does not chase it. But she knows it is there. Waiting. Luma has a heart like a still lake. It is calm, but it feels many things. She sees what others do not. A leaf falling slowly from a tree. A child looking up at the sky. A cat waiting at a door. She notices small things, and her heart becomes full. Sometimes she feels a sadness she cannot name. It is not heavy. Just soft. Like a psalm with no words. But she also feels joy in quiet places. When the sun touches her face. When she finds a perfect shell on the beach. When she hears her grandmother laugh. Luma is not afraid of silence. She walks with it like a friend. When someone is sad, she does not talk too much. She just sits near them. She listens. She gives them time. You don't have to say everything, she once said. Some feelings live in the quiet. People feel safe around her. Even animals come close. Birds do not fly away when she passes. Dogs wag their tails. Butterflies land on her arm. She never reaches out too fast. She lets them come when they are ready. She believes everything has its own rhythm. Its own time. She never forces. She waits. She trusts. Her heart is open, but not loud. Strong, but soft. She is not looking for big answers. She is looking for something true. Something kind. Something that whispers, not shouts. At night, she writes in her journal. Today I saw a fox on the hill, she writes. It looked at me. I looked back. We did not speak. But something passed between us. I think it was understanding. Luma does not need the world to be big. She only wants the world to be deep. To mean something. Even just a little. Sometimes, Luma looks at the sky for a long time. She lies on the grass behind her house. The sky is wide. The clouds are slow. And her thoughts begin to float. She does not always think in words. Sometimes, she just feels a question. A soft one. It does not push her. It does not hurt. It only asks gently, is there more? Luma does not mean more things. Not more toys or more places. She means more inside. More feeling. More truth. More understanding. Sometimes she watches people in the village. They go to work. They cook. They talk. They sleep. They seem happy. But Luma wonders. Is that all? Is there something they do not see? Something quiet, waiting under the world? She wonders if the stars know. Or the wind. Or the sea. One night, she whispered to a tree, do you know the answer? The tree did not speak. But its leaves moved, very gently. Luma smiled. That's okay, she said. You don't have to answer. Maybe I'm not ready yet. Her question is not heavy. It is like a feather in her chest. She carries it with care. She does not talk about it. Not even to her grandmother. It is hers. Private. A small seed growing slowly. Some nights, she writes it down. Will I ever understand? Is there something more to feel? Where is the light I am looking for? And when she does not know what to write, she draws stars. Again and again. Stars on the sea. Stars in trees. Stars inside a heart. The question stays. But it does not hurt. It just shines. Quietly. One evening, Luma sat near the sea. The sky was turning gold. The waves moved softly. The wind touched her face. She had her notebook on her lap, but she did not write. She just watched. Far on the horizon, the sun was almost gone. The last light made the sea look like glass. Luma's heart felt still. But inside, something was moving. Not fast. Just a little. Like a wish beginning to wake. She closed her eyes. She whispered into the wind. I want to feel more, she said. Not more noise. Not more things. Just more of what is real. She touched her chest. Her heart beat slow and steady. I want to understand something, she said. I don't know what it is. But I know it's out there. Or maybe, inside. She opened her eyes. A star was already in the sky. The first one. It blinked gently. Not bright. But clear. Do you know? She asked the star. Do you see the thing I'm trying to find? The star did not answer. But it stayed. It did not go away. Luma smiled. She did not need an answer tonight. She only needed the question. She only needed the wish. She held her notebook close. She watched the sky grow darker. She felt calm. She felt curious. She felt ready to walk. Not to find something big. But to feel something true. The kind of thing that only comes when the world is quiet. When the night is deep. When the stars are kind. That same night, after sitting by the sea, Luma went back to her little house. The sky was dark now, and stars covered the sky like tiny lights. She walked slowly, feeling the cool air on her face. When she stepped inside, the house was quiet. Her grandmother had already gone to bed. The small candle on the table still burned softly. Luma made a cup of warm tea and walked to her room. She sat on the floor and opened a small wooden box. Inside it, there were old papers, photos, and one thin notebook. The notebook had a brown cover. It was soft and a little broken on the edges. She touched it carefully. On the first page, there was a name written in soft letters, her mother's name. Luma had never met her mother. She passed away when Luma was a baby. But Luma felt close to her in small ways, in the stories her grandmother told, in the smell of old scarves, in the music box on her shelf. And now, in this little notebook. She opened the book slowly. Inside, the writing was simple. Small poems. Gentle words. Some were about stars. Some were about wind. Some were only a few lines long. Luma read one out loud. The wind knows the mountain. The mountain knows the moon. I know you, and I am not alone. Her heart felt full. She turned the page and read another. The star path is not in the sky. It is the walk inside your heart. That line stayed with her. She read it again. And again. She didn't fully understand it. But it felt true. Like a door she hadn't opened yet. She closed the notebook and held it close to her chest. She breathed in slowly. The line whispered inside her heart. It stayed with her, even as she fell asleep. As the sun sank lower in the sky, Luma walked through the village. The stones under her feet were cool and round. A few people were outside their homes, watering plants or lighting lamps. They waved at her. She waved back. But she did not stop. Her heart felt quiet but focused. Her steps were soft but steady. She walked past the last house, past the tall fig tree, past the old wooden fence with flowers growing through the cracks. And there it was, the beginning of the mountain path. She had walked this way before. Many times. But tonight was different. Tonight, she wasn't just walking to walk. She was walking to feel something deeper. She was walking with a small wish inside her heart. She held the candle in her hand. The flame danced behind the glass, small and warm. It gave her comfort, even though the night was not cold yet. She also carried the notebook. It was light, but it felt important. Like a key. Or a map. The wind moved through her hair as she took her first step onto the path. It was quiet. So quiet she could hear her own breathing. In and out. The leaves whispered above her. The sky was turning dark blue, with the first few stars blinking gently. She looked up. "I'm walking now," she said to the stars. "Show me something true." She didn't expect an answer. But she hoped the walk would speak to her. Maybe in the sound of the trees. Maybe in a memory. Maybe just in a feeling. She didn't need to find anything big. She only wanted to feel close to something real. That was enough. The mountain path was quiet, just as she remembered. Leaves covered parts of it like a blanket. Moss grew between the stones. The air was cooler now, and full of the scent of pine and earth. The sky above her had turned a soft gray blue. The stars were coming out one by one, like tiny lamps in the sky. Luma walked slowly. She didn't rush. Each step felt peaceful. Each breath felt deep. Her candle glowed softly. The flame moved gently, like it was breathing with her. She liked how the light touched the trees. It made little golden shapes on the bark and leaves. Her heart felt still, but awake. Like a quiet room with a light inside. She looked up and saw the moon, full and round. It looked kind. It followed her as she walked. Around her, the forest was alive, not with noise, but with soft presence. A bird moved in a tree. A small animal ran through the grass. But nothing ran away. It was as if the forest knew her. Or at least trusted her steps. She felt something inside her, not a thought, not a question, just a feeling. A small warmth in her chest. Like something old was waking up. She touched the notebook in her bag. She didn't take it out yet. She just felt it there. Like a hand holding hers. The path turned a little, then rose gently. She knew the way. But tonight it felt like she was walking it for the first time. She smiled softly. "This is the walk," she whispered. "The one inside." And with that, she kept walking, deeper into the night, with the stars watching quietly from above. The higher Luma walked, the darker the forest became. But it was not a scary dark. It was a soft dark. A gentle cover. Like a blanket made of shadows and sky. The candle's light was enough. It danced on the trees and rocks like a quiet song. She looked up often. The stars above were very clear now. They didn't blink fast. They just glowed. Calm and still. She recognized some of them. Orion. The North Star. A little group that looked like a spoon, the Big Dipper. She remembered her grandmother teaching her their names when she was small. They used to sit in the garden with a big blanket and warm tea. "That one points the way," her grandmother would say, pointing to the North Star. "Even if you don't know where you're going, the stars do." Luma smiled at the memory. She stopped walking for a moment. She looked at the sky. So wide. So quiet. "Hello, stars," she said softly. "I'm walking. Not fast. Not far. But I'm walking." A breeze touched her face, like an answer. She didn't expect the stars to speak. But she liked to think they listened. That maybe they saw her. A small girl, walking alone, holding a candle. A girl with a soft question in her heart. "Do you ever feel small?" she asked them. "I do. But I think that's okay." She kept walking, the path now a little more steep. The wind was cooler. But her heart felt warm. Like it had company. Like it was walking with stars. As Luma walked higher on the mountain path, the wind grew softer. The candle in her hand still burned gently. The forest was quiet. The stars above watched her. Suddenly, a memory came to her. It was soft, like a dream. She was very small in the memory, maybe 4 or 5 years old. She saw her mother's face. It was not sharp or clear. But it was warm. She remembered her voice. Not loud. Not singing. Just speaking softly. She was sitting in her mother's lap. They were outside at night, wrapped in a blanket. The stars were above them. "Do you hear that?" her mother asked. "That's the wind. It tells stories." Luma had not thought about this moment in a long time. Maybe years. But now, it returned to her, full, quiet, and real. She remembered feeling safe. So safe. Her mother's arms around her. Her voice like a song without music. "What does the wind say?" Luma had asked back then. Her mother smiled. "It says that you are loved. It says that even when you cannot see the path, you are on it." Little Luma had closed her eyes then. She remembered the sound of the wind. And now, walking on the mountain, she heard that same sound again. Maybe it was the same wind. Maybe it remembered her too. She stopped walking for a moment. She closed her eyes, just like in the memory. The wind touched her cheeks. It moved through her hair. It felt the same. Like a hand. Like a whisper. Like love. Luma opened her eyes and looked at the stars. "Thank you," she said. Not to the wind. Not to the memory. Just softly, to everything. She took a slow breath. Then she walked on, the candlelight warm in her hand, and the memory warm in her heart. The path curved again, leading to a little open space in the trees. There was an old wooden bench there. Luma had seen it before, many times. Sometimes she sat there to rest. Tonight, someone was already there. A man, old, with a long coat and a soft hat. His hands were in his lap. He looked up at the stars. He didn't move when Luma arrived. He only said, "The sky is clear tonight." His voice was soft and deep, like the sound of a cello. Luma stood still for a moment. Then she stepped closer. "Yes," she said. "Very clear." The man smiled, still looking at the stars. "Do you like walking at night?" he asked. Luma nodded. "I do," she said. "It helps me think. Or not think. Just, feel." The man gave a slow nod. "Yes," he said. "The night does that. It takes away the noise. It lets the real things come forward." Luma sat down beside him, but not too close. The bench was cool, but the candle in her hand kept her warm. For a while, they didn't speak. And that was fine. The silence was not empty. It was full. Full of stars, and trees, and soft air. After some time, the man spoke again. "I come here often," he said. "Not to find anything. Just to listen. The night doesn't talk much. But when it does, it says true things." Luma liked that. She looked up at the sky again. "Do you think the stars listen too?" she asked. The man smiled. "Always," he said. "They've been listening longer than we've been speaking." Luma breathed in slowly. This meeting felt like a gift. A quiet gift. Like a pause in time. After that, neither Luma nor the old man said much. But they didn't need to. The silence between them was gentle. It was full of trust. It was the kind of silence that feels like music, slow, deep, and kind. Luma felt the breeze move across her hands. Her candle still burned, steady and warm. She looked at the man beside her. He was looking up again, eyes soft, lips quiet. She thought about what he said, "You were waiting for yourself." It echoed in her chest. She didn't know what it meant completely. But she felt it. In her bones. In her breath. Sometimes the heart understands before the mind does. And that's okay. She looked up at the stars. The same ones she had seen many times before. But tonight, they looked different. Not new. Just more known. Like friends she had finally met. She smiled, but not with her mouth, with her whole body. She felt small. But in a good way. Like a small piece of something very big and very beautiful. She looked at the trees. The way the moonlight touched the leaves. The way the shadows danced slowly. Everything felt like it belonged. And so did she. "Thank you," she said softly. The man looked at her. He nodded. "Thank you too," he said. "For walking the path." Luma stood up. It was time to keep going. She looked at the man one last time. He smiled and looked back at the stars. She walked away slowly, candle in hand, notebook in her bag, heart a little fuller than before. She did not look back. But she felt his kindness behind her, like a warm wind. Luma sat on the mountain, candle glowing beside her. She did not feel cold. She did not feel lost. In fact, she felt very found. Her question was still inside her. Is there more? But it no longer felt heavy. It no longer pulled on her heart. It just sat there quietly, like a guest, not a problem. She looked up again. The stars were so bright, so patient. They did not hurry. They did not speak. But they stayed. And somehow, that was the lesson. Some things in life do not need to be solved. They only need to be carried. Slowly. Kindly. Luma closed her eyes. The wind moved through her hair. A few leaves rustled in the trees behind her. Her breath was calm. Her heart was steady. She thought about the people in her village, her grandmother, the children, the baker, the woman with the garden. She loved them all. But none of them could answer her question. And that was okay. Because the answer wasn't something someone could give. It was something she would grow, like a flower inside. She smiled, not because she had found something, but because she had found how to look. Not outside. Not far away. But gently. Inside. The walk up the path had shown her that. The silence. The candle. The memory. The old man. The stars. They all gave her little pieces. Not answers, just feelings. And those feelings were enough. For now. The stars above her didn't feel so far anymore. They felt close. Not like lights in the sky, but like lights in her chest. Luma opened her notebook. She didn't look at her mother's poem this time. She turned to a new page. She picked up her pencil and began to write. Slowly. Softly. The star path is not a place. It is the way we walk through the night. With questions in our hearts. And candles in our hands. She paused, then added one more line. The sky is wide. But my heart is, too. She smiled. These were not perfect words. But they were hers. And they felt true. She closed the notebook gently. She looked out at the dark sea. The wind moved across it, brushing the water like fingers on a piano. The village lights below blinked like sleeping eyes. Everything was quiet, but not still. Everything was soft, but full. She placed the notebook in her bag and picked up her candle. The flame danced, but did not go out. Thank you, she whispered, to the stars, to the mountain, to her mother, to the wind. And to herself. Luma stood up slowly. She stretched her arms. She felt light, like the wind could carry her. She turned toward the path, ready to walk back down. Her candle glowed in front of her, showing each step. The forest did not feel dark. It felt like a friend. The trees welcomed her. The stars followed her. As she walked, she didn't think much. She just breathed. Step by step. The same path, but now it felt different. Not because the mountain had changed, but because she had. A small change. A quiet one. But real. The kind that stays. The kind you feel in your bones, even when you don't speak about it. On the way down, she passed the old bench. The man was gone now. But Luma smiled as she passed. She felt his words beside her. You were waiting for yourself. Yes. That felt true. She walked slowly, carefully. Not because she was tired, but because she wanted to remember the path. The way the wind touched the leaves. The way the shadows danced on the ground. The way silence could feel like music. When she reached the end of the path, the village welcomed her with quiet lights. And her blue door was waiting. Luma stepped inside her house. The floor felt warm. The candle in her hand flickered gently as she walked to her room. The air smelled like wood and something sweet, maybe tea, maybe lavender. Willow, her cat, was curled on the bed. The little notebook sat on her table. Everything looked the same. But to Luma, everything felt new. She placed the candle in its holder. She took off her shoes. She sat on the edge of the bed and breathed in the quiet. Then she stood again and opened her window. The night air flowed in, soft and cool. She looked up at the stars. She did not ask them anything this time. She only watched. And felt. She felt held. She felt ready. Not for something big, just for life. As it is. With all its slow mornings and quiet questions. She whispered goodnight to the stars. And to the wind. And to the candle. Then she closed the window and pulled the blanket over her shoulders. Her cat moved closer. The candle's flame became smaller and smaller, until it was just a soft dot. Then, gone. But Luma didn't mind. There was still a light inside her. Small. Safe. Strong.